I knew I was gay the moment a friend in 6th grade asked me if I would kiss a girl for 1 million, and I said, sure, but I don't have that much money. Gay and stupid. I think you realized what you said a little bit too late, because everyone was looking at you like, that is not what I meant. That is not what I meant, but honestly, you did recognize very early on, and I'm proud of you, I guess. And I hope your friends didn't say anything weird. Because, yeah, sure, they might be caught off guard a bit, because they were just kind of like, seeing if you would, but then you're just like, absolutely, I just don't have that much money, you know, so... But the good thing is, you can kiss women for free. You just gotta find one who wants to kiss you too, you know? Hello BabyQueers, and welcome back to my channel. I tidied up my phone a while ago, and sorted all of my pictures, and I thought I had no more queer memes, but I found too many on my phone. So another installment of random queer memes it is. You know, because why not? But either way, you know the deal. Before we continue, y'all gotta get hydrated. So grab some water, or some tea, or whatever else you like to drink, and then we'll check out some more memes. Are you hydrated? Good, let's go. I did not have born in the wrong body childhood transgender angst. I had blissfully unaware of the concept of gender until the word lucifered me and made me bite that freaking awareness apple, and then suddenly everything was wrong angst. Yeah, to be fair, it took a while for me. Because did I ever actually think of myself as having a gender or being my gender that I was assigned? No. Did I look very androgynous whenever I picture myself in my head? Absolutely. Did I really miss the times when I was younger? Because I always had like a lot of clothes for my male cousins, so in a lot of pictures I do as a child look very androgynous. Until I like went through puberty. Did I absolutely miss looking that androgynous? Yes. Did I clock any of this and think about gender? No. Absolutely not. I kind of just thought it was normal, but you know, at some point you realize. And I feel like I'm not sure if it's easier. I feel like for some people it's just very convenient if they have like a really supporting family and can like get access to puberty blockers. It might be very good to recognize early on before everything starts to fall apart with puberty, you know, but I didn't. So welcome to the club, I guess. I'm prepping my dad to meet my non-binary friend. I cannot breathe at his response. Also, don't forget, Naomi is not a girl. They're non-binary, and if it's easier, they would probably prefer you accidentally call them a boy rather than a girl. Lol. Okay, can I just call them hey buddy? Listen, this is a fair question. We love supportive parents. I mean, we love supportive people in general, but supportive parents are kind of the best, because is he aware of terminology? Does he know a lot about queer people? Maybe not. But he's doing his best, and it's like checking, it's like, hey, would it be okay if I call your friend hey buddy, if I say things like that? You know, like, this is really sweet, and I'm here for it. I love your dad's response. Oh, so if being trans is natural, then why are there no records of you until recently? Historians to all records of trans people in history. And anything else that didn't conform to their worldview was just gonna get erased. You know, but just because you try your best to erase queer people does not mean they weren't there. Because it's not just like trans people, it's queer people in general. So, you know, you can't really trust it, and also just because something isn't taught in like history classes in school doesn't mean there aren't records at all of queer people throughout history, you know? Fancy bras. I get so many fancy bra ads, but I only ever wear sports bras. Yeah, you get more ads for the ones you look at the longest. Oh. Listen, we're not here to judge. You know? But I think you might have just either realized you're more of a lesbian than you thought, or more into women than you thought, or you might have just come out to your friends. Because I think now your friend knows too that you're into women. Because you either look at like the type of clothing that you enjoy wearing, is it like trying to find something nice that you can add to your wardrobe, or you're appreciating the beauty in certain pictures, you know? So the algorithm has to find out somehow what you like, and it's just gonna keep showing you these things. But I kind of feel like you don't actually have a problem with it. From my diary at age 8, secretly I feel like I'm neither girl nor boy, just me. This would have been circa 1987. I was not indoctrinating into thinking this. Maybe kids just know stuff about themselves. And then try to ignore it away. Or just don't talk about it because maybe they brought it up to someone else and they had a really weird reaction. And they were like, oh, it must not be an okay thing to talk about. I'm just not gonna bring it up again. Which isn't the same as not experiencing certain things, and maybe you just didn't quite clock it because you just thought this and then moved on with your day, kind of thinking, oh yeah, I'm sure this is normal, like I'm sure this is fine, like everyone has these feelings, right? And just move on with your day. Only to find out years later that no, not everyone. In fact, a lot of people don't have these kind of thoughts. You know, just thought I'd point it out. As simple-minded 21st century bisexuals, I play for both teams. James Dean, a genius. When questioned about his sexual orientation, Dean is reported to have said, "No, I am not a homosexual, but I'm also not going to go through life with one hand tied behind my back." Which is just such... Like, you can just say you're bisexual and move on with your day, or say you play for both teams and move on with your day, you know? But you could also just find cool ways of phrasing it without directly saying it, which honestly seems fair, but I would never like think of something in the moment. It just like be one of those things that I like think of beforehand and then completely forget in the moment when someone asks me, or just think of later when I'm laying in bed. I'm just like, you could have just said something so cool, but you just didn't. So I might not be a bisexual, but I guess I'm a simple-minded 21st century queer person as well. It's okay. You know, if you have cool things to say, nice. If you actually remember to say them in the moment, even better. Enemies to lovers is only good if they're gay. If I wanted to see a man and a woman yell at each other, I'd just go downstairs and eat dinner with my parents. I'm really glad it wasn't a common thing. In fact, when I first heard my parents like actually fighting, I was like 15 or 16. And I was kind of so caught off guard by it that I thought my parents were gonna get a divorce, because I'd never like actually really seen them like yell at each other before. And then my dad was like angrily slamming whatever he had in his hand down and just like ran out and slammed the door. We would have gotten in so much trouble for slamming the door, but it was somehow fine when he did it, yo. But I was, you know, blissfully unaware of that couples fight. So bonus points for my parents, I guess. But this just seems fair. Like, there's too many movies that are just so cliche of, oh, they meet and they hate each other, but then they're just secretly in love with each other and then they end up together, and we've just seen it too many times and it's boring and cliche. No thank you. Queer enemies to lovers, yes. Queer stories in general, absolutely. Queer love stories still somehow feel cliche in the same way, even though they're not as overplayed at least, but still. I would really, really rather watch queer enemies to lovers than straight people. No. Aromantic? No. Romanticant. Instead of finding something cool to say, you found a more complicated way to say, because I was really afraid I wasn't going to be able to pronounce this. But I guess I'm not going to tell you what to call yourself, because honestly, I would think it's pretty funny if people just say random things like this instead of just saying, oh yeah, no, I'm aromantic. Just be like, no, I'm romanticant. Seems fair, actually. Happy asexual balloon. You can't be asexual. Sex is a part of life. You're just confused. Just shattering into pieces. Just because you can't picture your life without sex, like you can't imagine not wanting to have sex or not enjoying sex or just not being sexually attracted to people, because that's kind of what being asexual is. But anyways, just because you can't imagine that doesn't mean you have to assume that everyone is like that. But people generally have a really hard time with this. And I'm not gonna lie, like I'm constantly caught off guard because I keep forgetting that other people don't think like me and that other people, have obviously different experiences and different opinions. And for a second, I'm always caught off guard by it. But I'm not gonna stand here and be like super judgmental about it and be like, no, but that's wrong. Like, you think differently or like you experience the world differently. No, that's wrong and that's weird, because I'm not stupid. Like, you can know that people's experiences are different and that people are different from each other, and that's probably a good thing, But no, people like being pushy about their beliefs. If my wife can't do my laundry, then I'd rather marry a fellow man, because then we'd have a lot of interesting things to talk about, like football, etc. I only want to marry a woman for the labor she can provide, because the truth is, I'd rather be with a man. Or you could just, be an adult and share the household tasks. If you would rather your wife do the laundry and then you do the dishes or something, because that's the kind of split that works for you, go off. But it's kind of ridiculous that you, as an adult, do not know how to do basic adult tasks like laundry, cleaning, cooking. Everyone should be able to do these things, But you just kind of expecting someone else to constantly do it for you is really weird. And if you want to marry a man or live with a man, then go off. We're not gonna stop you, And women aren't gonna stop you either, by the way. 5 stars. I didn't even know this was an LGBT bar when I arrived. I wasn't even gay when I got here, but after a great night of food, drink, and men, I sure am now. Great place. A man walked straight into a bar and then came out. How dare you? What do you mean, how dare you? I have a hard time with puns. Puns are not the biggest fan, but I can't be mad at this. Because it's just kind of funny of I never really thought about my sexual orientation, just kind of assumed I was straight, but, well, it turns out I'm not straight. Because, well, men. This is a very honest review and I really appreciate it. My favorite part of having lesbian parents was in high school when my mom would try to bond with me over movies. She'd pick some random guy in the movie, seemingly at random, and be like, wow, that guy is so hot, huh? With the absolute blankest look on her face. A for effort, Mom. A for effort. Okay, I can't relate. When are people sexy? I don't know. I'm just gonna do the thing that literally every asexual person or aromantic person ever did. Just seemingly picking a random person, or picking a person that seems appropriate And just being like, wow, yeah, no, that person, they're really attractive. Like, they're so hot. Even though you have, like, there's no emotion behind it, but you learn to fake it quite well. Your mom didn't manage to fake it quite well, apparently, but she's trying, okay? Gay is, in fact, the gender that I want people to perceive me as. I want people to look at me and go, oh, I have no idea what you are, but you are definitely homosexual. And I will be really, really weirded out if people, like, suddenly don't recognize me as queer. If, like, it's usually old people. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Because they're just literally gonna go around and assume you're straight. And it's really weird that they're so oblivious to anything that, you know, like, if they see me out in the street, and even if they can't tell my gender, if they see me kiss a girl, then I'm suddenly a straight dude. If they see me kissing a man, I would probably be read as a straight woman in their eyes, and it makes no sense, and it's hilarious to me, but it's also very frustrating. Fact, unlike the gay agenda, the bisexual agenda contains a 50-minute breaks for snacks between sessions. Fact, the asexual agenda is entirely made of snacks with a 50-minute break for all-out anarchy. Fact, the pansexuals with their extreme love for kitchenware make all the snacks. Y'all are busy. The pansexuals are really busy. Like, you know, kind of having like 15-minute snack breaks seems manageable, right? But having like full-out snack mania with like little 50-minute breaks in between seems like a lot of effort to make all the snacks. I hope the bisexuals are doing okay. I hope there are enough of you to make all these snacks. 13-year-old me was so damn proud of not being like the other girls because I wasn't boy crazy. Hooty hoo, dumbass, there's a reason for that. I just laughed for 2,000 years. What is it with queer people and not being able to say things normally? It's not like, oh my god, this is so funny. Oh my god, this made me laugh. It's like, I just laughed for 2,000 years. Like, this was so funny, I might as well throw myself in front of a bus because I'll never find anything funnier. Why? I'm here for it. And I have a tendency to do the same thing. But why do we do this? Anyways, yeah, the I'm not like other girls phase hit a bit different for you, huh? I'm definitely gender fluid, but like, I don't wake up one morning feeling masc and then femme the next. I just go through different aesthetic phases that last month or even years. Like, I haven't touched my binder in like 6 months because I'm pretty into my boobs right now, and I'm like, fuck yeah, maxi skirts. But before that, I went like 3 straight years without shaving or touching any makeup and wore mostly cargo shorts, so I'm like a very slow-moving gender fluid. A gender slime, if you will. It also just seems fair. And it also kind of seems more practical to be that slow-moving, because otherwise you have to have a lot of clothes and everything like on hand. If you're like kind of slowly moving from one aesthetic to the other, or like one gender presentation to the other, you can just like be like, oh, I'm moving into my mask phase. Okay, I'm just gonna put my skirts and dresses and maybe my makeup and everything in the basement or in a storage unit or whatever. And then, you know, I can get it if I need it again, but it might be 3 months, it might be a year, it might be 5 years. Clear up the space, you know, kind of only have the relevant items at hand. It also just makes packing for trips much more convenient than for other gender fluid people who might not know what to expect of their gender, really. So gender slime seems more practical, at least, than gender fluid, but you know, that's just me. I just remembered last summer when one of our old lady neighbors realized I was on testosterone and asked me if I liked cars. And when I said no, she was like, you will. Hormones that makes you like cars? This is weirdly supportive, but also I hate gender stereotypes and it doesn't make sense. But it's weirdly supportive. It's like I don't have a problem that you're trans. Like, that's cool, that's fine, you know? Like, good for you that you figured it out. Good that you're taking hormones. Like, I'm sure you feel a lot more comfortable, but also you will like cars because you're a man and you have no other choice. is so wild to me. Like, how... I'm very confused. Because I kind of thought that people who are that accepting of queer people would also just, like, be chill and be like, well, listen, if you don't want to be, like, a stereotypical man, or a traditional man, or whatever, then go off. But no, you're not that pushy about it right now, but it just still seems really weird. What if I gave you a tarot reading in my bedroom while my lavender incense burns, and then we watch spooky movies and cuddle, maybe kiss, and we're both girls? This post was written by a shy lesbian witch. Goals, lol. If I meet a girl and she beats me to the chase and asks what my zodiac sign is, it's over. Marriage, lol. I know that it's kind of a cliche that lesbian couples, they're either like best friends for 4 years before one of them dares to make a move and then they're suddenly like openly in love, or they're just like moving in together after like 2 weeks. There's not much in between. I mean, no, obviously there is. But that's kind of like the two opposite stereotypes, really. And you're kind of the second one of which is like, oh, no, listen, if she asks me my zodiac sign first, I'm just gonna straight up ask her to marry me. Ain't no other choice. And I'm here for it. And I feel like the original post and the comment would do really well together, because if you're shy and you don't really know how to make a move, it's kind of great to date someone who might be more outspoken and might just be very direct with it, because then you don't really have to make a move. You just have to be like, oh god, you made a move, yes, that's great, I was hoping you would like ask to kiss me first. And I think you would do well together. Chinese Emperor Ai of Han fell in love with a minor official, a man named Dong Shan, and bestowed upon him great political power and a magnificent palace. Legend has it that one day, while the two men were sleeping in the same bed, the emperor was roused from sleep by pressing business. Don Shan had fallen asleep on the emperor's robe, but rather than awaken his peaceful lover, the emperor cut his robe free at the sleeve. Thus, the passion of the cut sleeve became a euphemism for same-sex love in China. This is what I mean. Just because it's not taught in school doesn't mean that we don't know these things about queer people in history. And honestly, is it a meme? No. Was I gonna include it because it just seems really cute and absolutely like something queer people would do? Yes. Queer people would do the same thing nowadays. To just like be respectful to their partner, because straight people are... Honestly, I've met too many straight people who aren't respectful of their partner or actually like caring towards their partner. It's actually insane. Okay, this episode aired in 1986. People can learn a lot from the Golden Girls. If one of my kids was gay, I wouldn't love him one bit less. I would wish him all the happiness in the world. That's because you're the greatest mother in the world and I love you. Fine, now keep your fat mouth shut so I can get some sleep. The important things. I love people who have this kind of reaction to like people coming out. Just be like, listen, I don't care, but can I please go to sleep? I'm really tired. And just like really nonchalant about the whole thing. You're just like, okay, thank you for telling me. You know, if you find a boyfriend or if you find a partner, you can introduce them. Like, I won't like look at you any differently than if you brought home a girlfriend instead of a boyfriend. Like, I don't care, but I really need to sleep, so be quiet, I'm going to bed. You know, that's really sweet. And also, things like these or episodes like these might be a reason why a lot of queer people love Golden Girls. Daddy, I'm Wonder Woman. Excuse me? Dude, we've talked about this before, haven't we? Wonder Woman almost never wears a cape, plus your skirt is too long. Yep, that's much better. You know, if you want to cosplay Wonder Woman, you might as well do it properly, you know? Come on, Jimmy, we've talked about this. Again, I am here for supportive parents, and this comic was just adorable, okay? Why did you become a lesbian? I was bitten by a lesbian one night under a full moon, and now I'm cursed to sleep with women for the rest of my days. That seems like a really awful curse. Like, I'm really sorry. No one better put this curse on me, you know? This also counts as like an unhinged thing to say when people ask you, because it seems really weird to ask people like, why are you gay? Why are you gay? Why are you trans? Like, I don't know, why are you straight? Why aren't you? Like, it seems really weird to ask people because, why? Because they just are. And rather than lying about it and making themselves uncomfortable with pretending, they decided to be honest, and you're out here asking them why they're a lesbian? What? No. So yeah, if you want to say some weird things like this, then I'm absolutely here for it. Okay, if trans women became the world champion in bubble blowing, you'd hear some shit about my saliva density and lip stiffness. Fun fact, one of the world champions in pepper eating contests is a trans woman, and she actually faced significant backlash because people somehow thought she had a biological advantage to eating spicy pepper. Update, because I went back and checked, her name is Brianna the Chili Queen Skinner. She set a record in 2017 by slamming back 23 Carolina Reapers consecutively. She only stopped when told to by the referee, and the next year she stepped down out of boredom. Queen. This is just ridiculous. It also just seems very stereotypical of, no, but men can handle spiciness because women are soft and fragile or something. So obviously because she's a trans woman and is biologically male, obviously she's better at eating spicy things. Y'all, I have met both men and women who can't eat like any spicy food. Like, a little bit of pepper is already too spicy for these people. Did I make fun of them for being absolutely so white that they can't eat salami because it's spicy for them? Absolutely. Am I white? Yes. But will I still make fun of it? Yes. Because what? What? You don't have to like spicy food, but what do you mean? Like, one of these people actually told me that salami is spicy to them, and it confuses me a lot. So it's not a gender thing, it's just some people really like spicy food and handle it really well, but some people don't. But it's really not because of biological sex. Okay, horses made me transgender. A story time to explain this. There's a horse where I work named Lucy who hates men. Like, bite your face off levels of hate. Enter me, who's been having gender thoughts but not really realizing what that means. I've been avoiding Lucy because I quite like having my face not bitten off, thank you. Then one day I forget that she hates men and I go into a stall to clean up the poo. She doesn't hate me, but I don't think anything of it because I don't remember that she's sexist. Someone walks by and comments on how she never lets any man in there. Weird. Internally, I'm screaming, holy shit, holy shit, holy shit, holy shit. Thoughts that I've been having suddenly start to make sense, and that's how I realized I was a girl. This just seems really funny. Like, instead of just being like, oh yeah, no, I don't know, I just randomly figured it out one day that, I don't vibe with this gender I was assigned, you know, the other one might fit better. The horse literally told you to go figure your shit out. Lucy legit looked at you and was like, bro, ain't no way I'm gonna believe you're a guy. You know you're a girl. What do you do? I'm gonna help you figure it out because otherwise this is gonna take years. Lucy doesn't have time for this kind of behavior. Lucy wanted you to figure it out, and honestly, I can't blame her. Superheroes are so weak. Keeping my identity secret is so hard. To you, my parents don't even know what type of music I like. My parents don't even know I don't have tits. This is the best reply to this, none will ever come close. Official boob post. Is it about boobs if it's about not having boobs? Because boobs were mentioned, but there are no boobs in sight. And also, these are the exact type of parents that will say they know their child so well, and their child would never lie to them or keep secrets. Meanwhile, their child legit had top surgery and you don't even know about it. And then there's my parents, because my parents never knew me well either. Because I didn't open up to them and never told them much, you know, because I didn't trust them. And then my mother proceeded to ask me, like, I didn't have top surgery yet, I just had, like, a binder on. And she legit asked me where my boobs went. So, two types of parents, I guess, but, you know, transphobes love to be like, you can't transition because your life will become too difficult due to the way I'm going to treat you. Living your life differently than I think is right for you to live your life? No, no, no. Why are people like this? Legit, why? People make me so angry. Like, if you think it's weird that people are trans, or you don't like gay people, okay. That's your opinion, but your opinions about other people don't really get to dictate how these other people live their life, you know? Because that's none of your business. What? They say insane shit all the time. How was I supposed to know this one was true? People just say their arrow to people they don't want to date. See? This makes me so angry. Because, I mean, yeah, legitimately, as a woman, just saying, oh, I have a boyfriend will work better than to say you're not interested or you're a lesbian. And also, telling people your arrow will legitimately not get anyone to back off. So yeah, if someone says this, I'm like, oh, you're just saying that because you're not into me. Like, no. They're just saying it because they are aro. Because people, again, like being really weird about other people's sexual orientation or romantic orientation, which has no influence on them, of course. Like, yeah, sure, rejection might not feel great, but honestly, it's not that deep. Move on with your life, man. A little girl in my 4th grade class came up to me after recess and said, I got married at recess. And I said, oh, I didn't know anyone was ordained under the age of 12. And she asked me what ordained meant, and I explained. And then she said, oh, well, no, my wife and I were married by the slide, but we'll be happy together anyway. So apparently on school playgrounds, slides are already legalizing same-sex marriage. They warned us it would be a slippery slope. You know, when I first read this, I kind of legitimately pictured the slide marrying these people, like an animated slide just talking, you know, asking like, do you take this woman to be your, you know, that's what I pictured. That's not what this little girl meant. They just meant they were like next to the slide, but I did not picture that. Anyways, again, I will also let this pun slide. Because, well, how couldn't I? It's literally about a slide, you know? So anyways, do I have more? Yes, which just means we have to do queer memes again some point soon, because I screenshot too many memes, I find. You know? Because I'm like, this is nice. I have to include this in my next video, and then I just have so many pictures on my phone that I don't sort into folders, and then I sort them into folders, and then I suddenly have like 60 pictures in the folder and cannot get through them in one video. But anyways, guess I'll come back, you know, I was going to anyways. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed these memes and text popes and comics, and I hope you hydrated. If not, maybe consider drinking something now, and I'll be back in a few days to remind you again.